Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick or the Notorious Fantasy back at here with another fantasy football video. Today's video got the Week 13 quarterback start or sit decisions. I go through each matchup all the way from Thanksgiving all the way until Monday night and tell you whether you should start or sit the quarterbacks in those matchups. Now, before I get into the Week 13 quarterback start or sit decisions, I'd like to give you guys a word from my friends and my sponsor over at OverlayDFS.com. OverlayDFS.com is my favorite way to play daily fantasy football. Now, Overlay now also offers NBA and also NBA slash NFL games. So if you guys are into the NBA as well, obviously you can come play that. But I'm going to be talking about NFL here today. Now, it is a very simple game, but I'm going to be talking about how it works first. Now, there's 10 max lineups, which obviously gives you more chances to win, but also doesn't let those sharps, those computer-generated programs to dominate in those games, have like 100 plus entries. Now, the $20 progressive game is definitely the game to play for football. It is $22. Obviously, if you're top 10%, you get 9 times your buy-in, but if you hit that beautiful 12-0, that progressive bonus, you get over $8,700, and it's still going to be rising all the way until Sunday, so you guys got to make sure you check that out. Now, the game is different every single week. Never know what the matchups will be posted. It's pretty much you versus the board. You only need to worry about 2 records, yours and the pay-off cut. Now, there's also head-to-head contests that are 10 pick rate, and it's amazingly small, and bad records win all the time. The more people who enter, the bigger the jackpot is going to be. Now, I'm going to show you guys here real quick a strategy that I like to use. Now, when you're playing the game, you need to make 12 picks plus 2 alternate picks to obviously help if someone gets hurt or something, then you can use one of those alternate picks. Now, one of my favorite strategies to do here is select a quarterback and their wide receiver. So I would go with my main man, Philip Rivers here over Daniel Jones, and then scroll down here, scroll a bit down until I find my friend Keenan Allen, and then take him and go with the quarterback and wide receiver stack. That is something I found out. It helps me do better on Overlay DFS. So make sure you check out OverlayDFS.com, link down below in the description. Come and play with me. Let's have a great week this week on Overlay DFS.com. And we are back. Make sure to check out OverlayDFS.com, link down below in the description. Let's get right back into it. Week 13 quarterback start or sit decisions. The first game here is the Thursday early game, the Thanksgiving early game. Bears at Lions. Now, this should be pretty clear to you. You're going to be sitting down, kissing titties Trubisky in this game. Mr. Trubisky has not been playing all that well at all this season. Him and Matt Nagy are playing fucking tug-of-war on the sideline. You never know what's going to be happening over here. And while Mitch Trubisky might be good at kissing titties, he is not good at throwing the ball to the left side of the field. And I do not believe, even up against a shit or not the best Lions defense, that Mitch Trubisky will be able to perform. Now, Jeff Driscoll, on the other hand, is also going to be a sit for me. Given right now it seems like Matt Stafford's not going to play. If Matt Stafford plays, I'm still not too confident in playing him either. Obviously, coming back from that injury is going to be hard for him. I do not like Jeff Driscoll in this game either. I don't think that the Lions offense gets too much done passing in this game. Obviously, both the receivers, Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones, could be good. Same with Mr. Bo Scarborough, the running back, but I'm not too confident in my main man, Jeff Driscoll, in this game. Next game here, we got the Bills at the Cowboys, the 4 o'clock Thursday game. In this game, I'm going to be starting up both quarterbacks. I like Josh Allen as well as Dak Prescott in this game. Obviously, Dak Prescott had a down game against the New England Patriots last week, and obviously that could be have foreseen in the future. You could have just rubbed a crystal ball and seen that coming, that he wouldn't have the greatest of games. Obviously, I thought he would have a better game, but that rain really hurt him. The fact that he had to be wearing 2 gloves just to get a grip on the ball obviously hurt him. In this game against the Buffalo Bills in Jerry's World in Dallas, I think that Dak Prescott will be able to perform well in this game and have a bounce-back game. Now, Josh Allen, on the other hand, has been playing off the hizzle, as the children like to call it. He is going to be playing quite well in this game against the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys defense is not the best, and Josh Allen should be able to slice and dice his way to a top 12 performance this week at the Dallas Cowboys. Next game here, the final Thanksgiving game. We got the Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I'm going to be starting up both QBs in this matchup. Obviously, Drew Brees is a certified locked-in top 5 guy. We've seen the last couple of games him absolutely dominate for the quarterback position. Him and Michael Thomas have some type of a love affair like Sam Darnold and Jamison Crowder. I really think that Drew Brees is going to eviscerate this Atlanta defense. Obviously, the Atlanta defense actually looked pretty hot 2 games ago In the game before that, last week they looked like shit, and the Falcons just did not perform all that well. But speaking of not performing well for the Falcons, Matt Ryan shit the bed last week and played god-awful. In this game against the Saints, I think he has a bounce-back game in a division game that I think Matt Ryan wants to win. Now, obviously, I like Drew Brees slightly more because I feel a lot more confident in Drew Brees being able to perform and not absolutely disappoint you like Matt Ryan could in this game, but I still think that both of these guys are going to be great. Drew Brees, more of a top 5 option. Matt Ryan, much more of a top 10 type of guy, but I still like Matt Ryan and Drew Brees in this game, the final game on Thanksgiving. Next game here, we got the Titans at the Colts to start off the Sunday slate. And if you guys have enjoyed the video thus far, please make sure to knock one time on that subscribe button down below. Now, I'm going to be sitting down both QBs in this matchup. Jacoby Brissett. Obviously, the Colts like to run it up. They like to run up the score by running the ball, and I don't think that Jacoby Brissett is really going to be able to perform in this game. We've seen T.Y. Hilton take an absolute shit in your lineup last week against the Texans on Thursday night, so I'm not too confident in Jacoby Brissett in this game against the Tennessee Titans defense that is pretty tough. Now, Ryan Tannehill obviously was balling out last game. Do I think that he could do the same thing that he did to the Jaguars against the Colts? Not at all. I do not like Ryan Tannehill in this game because I think that the Colts defense is a lot better than the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I really just don't believe in Ryan Tannehill's talent, especially when this could be just two teams just running the fuck out of the rock back and forth until the game ends, and one of the teams ends up on top. Next game here, we got the 49ers at the Ravens, one of my favorite matchups of the day. Obviously, my favorite matchup of the day, actually. The best defense, or one of the best defenses, versus the best offense in the league. Lamar Jackson versus Jimmy GQ, Jimmy Guap, Jimmy Moneybags, whatever you like to call him. Jimmy Handsome. I like Lamar Jackson in this game, and that's pretty obvious. Lamar Jackson, no matter what defense he's playing against, you could put 22 guys on defense, double the amount of guys you're allowed to have, and Lamar Jackson would still whoop-de-wop his way straight through them all into the end zone. I love Lamar Jackson in this game against the San Francisco 49ers in Baltimore. Now, when we're sitting down Jimmy Garoppolo, I think this game has potential to be a higher scoring type of matchup, but I just don't believe in Jimmy Garoppolo. Obviously, the Ravens defense the past couple of weeks has honestly looked like a top defense in the league, and I really believe that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get his ass shut down in this game in Baltimore. Knock one time if you're with me. Next game here, we got the Jets at the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I like my main man, Sammy Mono. My main man, Sam Darnold, in this game. Mono Man Sam is going to go into Cincinnati and blow them out. It doesn't fucking matter that Andy Dalton is probably playing in this game. It does not matter. Sam Darnold is going to absolutely eviscerate that defense. It's going to be so easy for the Mono Man that I just think there's no way that he cannot be a top 10 back or top 12 quarterback in this game. So I like Sam Darnold against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Andy Dalton, on the other hand, coming back likely in this game, going to be a bit rusty. Will AJ Green come back? Who fucking knows? We'll probably know on Sunday. Right now, I'm not sure. Andy Dalton and the weapons they have, I'm not too confident in him being able to ball out enough to be worthy of a start against the New York Football Jets. And we saw when he was starting earlier in the season, he was much more of a boom or bust kind of a guy. This is a matchup where I could see him booming, but I just don't trust it yet after coming back off of being benched for Ryan Finley. Next game here, we got the Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. An absolutely beautiful matchup. Not really. Now, a lot of people are going to be high on Baker, the Faker Mayfield, after Baker Mayfield blew out the Miami Dolphins, okay? Oh my God, fucking Baker Mayfield is so good. You saw the way they were celebrating against the Dolphins. You saw how good he was. He's going to destroy the Steelers, Nick, you fucking idiot. And you know what's going to happen? Baker Mayfield is going to be feeling dangerous. He's going to be feeling cocky. And against the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's going to look stupid. In my opinion, Baker Mayfield, you could do a lot worse than Baker Mayfield, but I'm not buying in on Baker the Faker Mayfield against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a tougher defense. Now, we'll also be sitting down Duck Hodges. Looks like he's going to be getting the start over Mason Rudolph. Clearly, he deserves the start because Mason Rudolph looks terrible after he got bashed into the skull the last time these two teams plays. I don't like Devlin Hodges. I don't like Baker the Faker Mayfield in this game. Next game here, we got the Eagles at the Miami Dolphins. Now, I'm going to be starting up Carson Wentz in this game, but you better catch me. You're not going to catch me starting Carson Wentz, because if I'm being completely honest with you, I do not believe in the man. But this matchup is so beautiful. It's like the fantasy gods handed you a juicy matchup, and you just got to go, mwah, mwah, mwah. You know, you just got to kiss the shit out of that matchup like Mitch Trubisky kisses those titties, and Carson Wentz should be able to easily eviscerate the Miami Dolphins defense. Do I buy it? No, I don't buy in the talent on the Eagles, but with that said, I would still be starting him this week in fantasy football, and I'm also going to be sitting down Ryan Fitzmagic. Ryan Fitzmagic actually did not play all that bad last week against the Cleveland Browns. The defense just let them down, but in this game against the Eagles, I don't think Ryan Fitzpatrick gets it going enough to warrant a start this week in fantasy football. Now, we are on to the next game here, the Redskins at the Carolina Panthers. Now I'm going to be sitting down both quarterbacks in this matchup. Dwayne Trashcan Hashkins, I don't believe in him enough to be able to start him. That O-line is so shit. I think he's going to be on his back a lot of this game, and not in a good way. Dwayne Haskins is going to get eviscerated in this game by the Carolina Panthers defense. I just don't trust him. Kyle Allen, on the other hand, or Kylan Allen as I like to type it out, he is going to be okay in this game. The Redskins defense is terrible, so if you want to get greedy, you want to feel a bit dangerous, roll him out there. The Carolina Panthers have been balling out of control the last couple of games, other than the game where everyone believed in them and he shit the bed. I just don't trust him personally enough to start him, but I have seen people like starting Kyle Allen in this kind of juicy matchup. Next game here, we got the Packers at the Giants, the rematch of the boat game from the, I believe it was the NFC. I don't know, maybe it was an NFC wildcard game for a couple of years ago where all the Odell and friends hopped on that boat, and then you saw what happens. The Packers gave them a good old ass whooping, and in this game, I could see the same thing happening. Well, it's probably going to happen. Packers at Giants. I like Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be discount double checking all over this team. I know last week against the San Francisco 49ers, he did not play all that well, but this week, he's not playing the San Francisco 49ers. He's playing the San Francisco 49ers' little brothers, okay? The Giants are fucking terrible. They're not going to be able to do anything in this game, so I like Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to be sitting down Danny Fumbles, a.k.a. Daniel Jones. Next game here on the Sunday slate is the Buccaneers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I think that both quarterbacks in this game should have a good game. Obviously, famous Jameis Winston has been eating W's for you all season in fantasy football. And I believe that this week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, even if he throws 2 picks, he's still going to eviscerate the Jaguars defense and put up a big fantasy football game. So I like the W eater, the crab stealer, famous Jameis in this game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, where we saw Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry give him a bit of a skull fucking last week. Now, Big Dick Nick Foles took a bench last week. He did not play all that well. He took a shit in your lineup if you're playing him. But this week, he's playing up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a awful defense. Nick Foles should be able to easily throw his dick down. Nick 9-inch is going to throw it down and slam on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. I like Nick Foles in this game as well. Next game here is the Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Now, we saw the Rams last week get absolutely eviscerated by the Ravens on Monday night on a worldwide stage. They just got fucked, okay? And I have no confidence in Jared Goff. Jared Goff looks fucking terrible. It looks like he can't do anything. They paid him $130 million for what? He looks god-awful. He looks terrible. It looks like you could put Blake Bortles in and he might play better than Jared Goff. We want Blake, baby. Put Blake in, Mr. McVay. Now, I'm going to be starting up Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is just so great in fantasy football. He gets it done with the legs. He gets it done through the air. And I have a lot of confidence this week against the LA Rams. Obviously, he's facing up against Aaron Donald. That's something to worry about. He's facing up against Jalen Ramsey. But at the end of the day, Kyler Murray is going to be playing well enough to warrant a top 10 start this week in fantasy football. So I would definitely start him this week against the LA Rams, who honestly just look like a decimated and a deceased team. Next game here, we got the Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. And I love Pat Mahomes in this game. Pat Mahomes should be able to easily manhandle the Oakland Raiders defense. We saw last week Mono Man Sam go in there and skull fuck the Oakland Raiders. And this week I see no difference from the main man, Pat Mahomes. Obviously, Pat Mahomes looks a bit banged up because he was banged up. But even with a 75% Pat Mahomes, I think that the Raiders defense is going to stand no chance to Pat Mahomes. And he's probably my number 1 or number 2 quarterback on the week. I'm going to be sitting down Derek Carr. Last week, Derek Carr's matchup was so juicy against the Jets, and the whole team bended in half and played terrible. But Derek Carr this week is definitely a sit again until that John Gruden and friends can prove to me that Derek Carr is worthy of a start again, even after taking a shit against a not-so-hot New York Football Jets defense. Next game here, we got the Chargers at the Denver Broncos. Now, I'm sitting down both quarterbacks in this matchup. Phillip Rivers looks like his eyes are closed when he throws the ball half the time. He says, fuck it, Keenan Allen is out there somewhere, and it always ends up getting intercepted by one of those corners, a safety, whoever. Could be intercepted by a blind kid because he throws the ball so goddamn bad. I do not trust Phillip Rivers even up against a bad Denver Broncos defense. Now, Brandon Allen, on the other hand, is a definitely okay quarterback for the NFL, but for fantasy football, you don't want anything to do with Brandon Allen in fantasy football. You should know that by now. Obviously, he hasn't played that bad in real life, but like I said, for fantasy football, you want to stay away from Mr. Brandon Allen in Denver. Next game here, the Sunday Night Football match between the Patriots at the Texans. Personally, I like the Ravens versus the San Francisco 49ers game a bit better, but it's okay. The Patriots at Texans is going to be a good game to watch. I'm starting both QBs in this matchup. Obviously, last week, Deshaun Watson was balling out of control, throwing dimes to Will Fuller and Mr. DeAndre Hopkins. But in this game, I think it's going to be a lot tougher for Deshaun Watson, given he is still a top 5 to top 8 guy for me this week against the New England Patriots. Even against a tougher defense, I still believe in him, so I like him this week against the New England Patriots. Now, Tom Brady, on the other hand, is just going to be about okay. Like I said, he's a super average guy. He's not going to be the top 5. He's probably around the 12 to 14 range, and he's just a safe guy. You roll him out there, he scores you like 15, 20 points, and you're just happy about it. He played okay. So Tom Brady this week, I like him against the Texans. I think this has potential to be a higher scoring type of game where Tom Brady has to actually air the ball out, and if that is true, Tom Brady could actually have a bigger type of game this week in Houston. Final game here, the Monday Night Football game between the Vikings at the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I like Kirk Cousins in this game, and he's going to be screaming, you like that? Because he needs to beat the Seattle Seahawks in this game, okay? Kirk Cousins has been looking on fire. Last week, they were obviously on the bye. Kirk Cousins is one of the best quarterback ratings in the league. I believe it is actually the best. He's about to set some type of a record because he's been balling on a whole nother level this year. You like that? Kirk Cousins against the Seattle Seahawks. I believe in him. I don't believe that he's going to be a top 10 guy, much more of a 10 to 14 or 15 type of guy like Mr. Tom Brady, but I still think that Kirk Cousins may be able to get it done in this game. Russell Wilson, on the other hand, should be able to ball out against the Vikings defense. Obviously, Russell Wilson last week did not play all that well against the Philadelphia Eagles, but in this game against the Vikings, I think he has a much better outing and shows why he is that MVP candidate that he is. Thank you guys all for watching this video. If at any point you ended up enjoying, please make sure to knock one time on that subscribe button. Click that. Make sure you guys also click the notification bell. Check out overlaydfs.com. I love each and every single one of you. Make sure you guys have a beautiful Thanksgiving. Have a great rest of your day. I love you all. Goodbye, my friends.